Hi, my name is Luis Ronquillo, and this is how I live my work.
Hi, welcome to Living the Work. I'm so happy to have you. Thank you for your time. I know you're busy, but I'm so happy to be here and be able to, share some of your insights, of your the way you live your work and what you do, and so forth. So if we could start by introducing yourself and what do you do?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for having me. First and foremost, but I'm a commercial banker at Frost Bank. My job is essentially to help commercial clients, specifically in lending, but also we do offer a wide variety of services such as like insurance and wealth management. And so the way I like to put it, most people don't quite understand what I do. Think of it this way: people have bank accounts, so do businesses. And so those businesses require a little more attention, if you will. So my job is to meet with the business owners and work with them and build that relationship, and just kind of provide solutions for them, whether it's through just like I said, your day-to-day accounts. How can we earn them a little more interest, and just build that relationship with them.
That's good. That's interesting. That's necessary. Not only interesting,
Absolutely.
right? Like once you're, building your business and growing and everything, and a little bit of who you are in a personal life.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am. I say recently married. I've been with my now wife. We're for 7 years, and I'm going to come up on 1 year of marriage.
Oh, wow.
And so, I love spending time with my wife and my dog as well. The cutest dog ever. And outside of that, we enjoy working out. I've always been a pretty active guy. I am by any means not the fittest. However, since I was a young kid, I've always been active. Okay. And so that's kind of translated to where I am today, and I still do it till this day. And so just a way of I guess balancing life, if you will.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. And how did you guys meet? Did you meet at the gym or no?
No. So I'll give you the short version of it, because it's quite extensive if I include all the details. But no, she went to Baylor University. Okay. And so she's now a nurse, and she did her first 2 years of undergrad in Waco. Okay. And then your last 2 years you do them in Dallas. And so I originally grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and that's where we met. And
it's an interesting mix of professions.
Right? Yeah. I went from Dallas to San Antonio, and then I found the love of my life in Dallas, and I pulled her down here, and
that's good.
Here we are now. So.
Well, that's good. San Antonio's better.
No, I agree. It's very homey.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's good. I mean, I think that you guys look happy, and congratulations on your year.
Thank you.
I think it's the most kind of like interesting and fun year of a couple, because it's different when you jump to the marriage kind of like label. It changes a little the game, but it feels good. It feels good. So congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
And then going into the other questions, we'll start with what is it like, working in the corporate world from your perspective? Because like I was telling you a little bit ago, I've interviewed a couple of business owners, and we are business owners, so we know that perspective, and kind of to balance and kind of we've learned to balance and worked our lives around that setup. But in the corporate world, it's totally different. It has, like we were saying, its perks, and I just want to know, how is it, and how do you do it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say my experience, my perspective is a little unique in the sense that I have a great team. I have a great team that I work with. I have a support group such as my credit analysts who help me. And when I tell you, these guys are some of the sharpest, most intelligent guys I've ever met in my life. Definitely, they're doing a much better job than me when I was in their shoes. Okay. And so. I learned from them a lot more than they probably learned from me. But, just having those guys and having a team that's so supportive, full of knowledge, and helps you carry out your day-to-day operations just makes it that much worth it. And so normally you hear the stigma behind the corporate world that it's the politics involved and all of that. I can honestly say where I am, I haven't really experienced any of that, and I'm very lucky to be surrounded by such a great group of individuals who ultimately help me do my job.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a community then. Like it's like that feel of like support, like you're saying.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, and it doesn't just stop with them. It continues on to our assistants who are. I can't tell you how many times they've saved my butt before.
Yeah.
But there's so much knowledge. They understand the procedures, the processes, and whenever they explain that to me, I'm able to better communicate that to my clients. Because at the end of the day, I'm the face of the relationship. And so that's my perspective on the corporate world.
Have you ever thought of like, someday I'll do something on my own or stuff like that? And I mean, I feel like a lot of people have that question. Some people just have it there, but then they never go to do anything with it. And some people like, I don't know, like have you ever thought about it?
I'd be lying if I said it didn't cross my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, growing up, my father was very much involved in construction, the construction world, and so I always thought I would grow and be some sort of business owner, maybe in that field, or just some trade related to that. But as I got into college, I just kind of began to pave my own way, and I didn't know quite what I wanted to study at the time. I always thought it was engineering. That didn't work out, clearly. But I got into college and I started learning about business, and I just took the finance role. And I think it challenged me a lot, and I'm learning a lot from it. And so
so we're good with numbers.
You would think. I
guess
like I
so.
said, I have those great analysts that work below me that make my job easier. But I have a good understanding of numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, we always have that I guess idea of like, what is it, the corporate world, if you own a business, and then if you're in the corporate, what is it to own your business? And I mean, I guess it's just natural. But as long as you know that you're comfortable doing what you're doing, and that you have the skill set and the life to select one off, I think you can succeed in both. Like you're saying, I mean, you look super happy doing what you do, and I mean, we're happy doing what we do, and you can see both worlds, and they don't have to fight, within each other, or like,
Exactly.
Not everybody has to be a business owner, and the corporate world, it's really, really interesting. Like I told you a little bit ago, also, like I was able to be in the corporate world for a while, and I enjoyed the traveling and like meeting people, and like like the exposure, I guess, because it's such a big world that if you do it on your own, it's harder to get there. But if you are into these big corporations, then you kind of like get to meet some personalities that that you're saying that you admire or stuff like that it would be so much harder to do on your own, I guess. But it's both worlds are okay. That's good. Okay, so now into the deep questions. What strategies do you use to grow and succeed both personally and professionally? Like you said, you're married, you work out. So like some people say that it's impossible, some people make excuses, but somehow some people make it happen, and you are, I think, one of those people. So how do you do it?
Well, I wish I had a list of particular skills that I can just list out for you that I do, but I don't. However, one thing that I have been working on lately and focusing on is, it sounds cliche, but I want to improve my communication. And so what I mean by that is not just at work, but also at home, with my wife, of course, and all of that. But in the corporate world, it's important to set the right expectations, because at the beginning of my career, I was in a position where all I wanted to do was say the right things to my clients, so they can feel a sense of relief, right? That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to feel like I didn't want to let them down. And so it's happened a couple times, and you learn from your mistakes, where you'll say something, you set the expectation, and all of a sudden you don't meet them. And so by improving communication, simply just being transparent with them. So just to give you an example, let's say, hey, you are looking to finance a piece of real estate that you want to move into, I'll say, hey, these are the expectations. This is how long it's going to take us to from beginning to close. But also through that process, communicating with the client, keeping them updated in the event that something comes up and kind of puts a hold on the process, has really, I feel like it has helped me build a better relationship with my clients.
Because you're honest.
It's just the transparency of it. And so, a lot of people don't understand the process of borrowing money. And so it gives them comfort knowing that they have someone on this side knowing they're fighting for them and to ultimately help them achieve what they're trying to achieve, which is purchase or something through lending. So.
Yeah. And like, how do you transport it to, like you were saying, so communication at home? I think that's key. I mean, it's so interesting that you went into that area, because for us, it's also super important to communicate and know what do we want out of work, and what do we want out of time, and what do we want out of life, if you go like big, right? So, I mean, sometimes you go, and then you just, let yourself drive through the journey, and then you're like, whoa, what were we doing this? Like, so, or Roberto wants to do something, and he's just straight up to it, and I'm like, hey, hold it, like, it's a team, so we got to do this too, and to balance it out with activities of the kids, with then again going to the gym, with eating healthy, with just resting and stuff like that. But how do you communicate that, or because I think, like, for your, like I was saying, it's an interesting mix that you guys have. You're both busy, and you both have strict hours, I think. Yeah, right. Like,
more
she
or
has
less.
strict hours, kind of.
I would say I have more flexible hours.
Okay, that's good. Oh, well, that helps.
She
right?
has more strict hours, absolutely.
Okay, so then that's where the communication comes in, right? Where you're like, okay, so how do we collide on those hours, or how do we do quality time, or how do we do what you want to do on that free time, but also what I want to do? Because then if you just think about yourself, then you're like, okay, so I want to go to the gym after, and then she might say, well, I want to go do my nails, and then you're like, okay, we didn't see each other all day, so what's going on? So it's like, I think communication definitely, it's a key aspect to be able to try and keep playing the game of like, hey, we're both working, we're both doing the best that we can, but we have to also balance out and like not also lose yourself, I feel, in the process, like not you doing everything that she wants, or she doing everything that you want, or just
I laugh because you described a very real example that's happened in my life before, and so
of the gym and the nails,
the gym and the nails, or hey, we want to go to the movies this day, and the good thing is you learn to compromise through communication, and I'm sure there are couples out there more experienced, they've done it for longer than a year, that can probably poke holes in my argument, but it's simply compromise, right? If we do this day, let's do that the next day. And so and now one of the learning curves for me is, so we don't have kids yet, however we do have a dog, and we treat that dog like I tell you, he lives so good. I mean, he gets the best food, everything, and so we think of him as our baby. And so the biggest struggle in that sense is that we struggle with leaving him alone sometimes, and because I feel for him. I know it's weird, believe me. Okay. But it's we talk about, hey, okay, our schedules. You work this day, maybe I can work from home from this day. You're off these few days, so you're with him this day, and I pick up the day on this. And so these are the kind of the thought process that go on in our marriage, and that's how we communicate. And so hopefully that translates to when we have kids one day.
Definitely.
But it's just
spoiled then.
He is very spoiled. I know. I've never had a dog up until now, and so really? I lived a life where I don't need a dog. I'm okay without him, and now we compromise and we got a dog.
Well, then you can practice with the expenses, because you're gonna put him in a daycare, and those are expensive. So so you can practice the communication, and then the expense, and then the negotiation. See, that's a good way to do it. Of course. That's funny. I mean, I think, like, you never think of all the things that come into play whenever, you know, you are working into, you know, building a family and like being with a couple. I feel like nowadays with this kind of like marriage thing, young people or so are feeling like, you know, it's you can get bored, or like, you know, marriage, why marriage and stuff like that. And I feel like you're saying, like, the way you convey it, like you're having fun, you're discovering stuff, like I feel like that it's part of what keeps it alive too. Like, you know, like you both have lives, but you both also have fun within each other, like with each other, and then you keep changing, like things keep changing. Like if you get, then again, a new job, you got to change the game. If she becomes a mom, then it changes again, and then you keep evolving because you keep meeting these great people and you keep learning. And so you really never get to a point where you're like
settled.
Okay, so yeah, I know you, you know me, whatever. Like, no, like you're supposed to keep changing, right? You're supposed to keep growing and doing these challenges in these fun scenarios where, you know, it keeps it awake, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. And then as the last question, what role do you think our relationship with money plays in achieving our best version of a balanced and fulfilling life? And this is kind of like a big one, I know, but I think, like, you know, the relationship with money, and in that I still need to work on, but it does kind of play into, you know, how we balance our life and how we play with the money. Like, how do you, is it related, or you think it's separate? Like, if you have a balanced life, would you have a good scenario in your you know, in your finance, or is it totally different? Like, is it separated?
Yeah, no, that's, wow, what a great question. Well, you know, the way I see it, money's a tool, right? Money's a tool. You have it until you spend it, of course, until you're off the face of this earth. So the way I see it is, it's a responsibility. And so learning to manage it, maybe living within your means, and living, if you can, live off less than you make. It takes discipline. And so doing, it sounds very cliche to say that, but it truly translates. Hopefully those values of being disciplined, being responsible with it, translates to everything else, other parts of your life. So whether it's, you know, your routine, right? Hey, I had a long day at work. I really don't feel like working out. I don't feel like working on my health. I don't feel like doing anything from my 5 to 9, right? Outside of your work hours. And so having that discipline to just simply get to the gym, right? In my scenario, get to the gym, just get there. And once I'm there, I mean, there's no turning back, right? I get it and I feel better afterwards. And so I would say it's a responsibility and discipline, really.
And that could translate to the way you see and use money? Or have you seen like a congruence? Like, have you seen, like, when you meet a lot of people, and you meet a lot of like successful people that are trying to, like you were saying, move their money strategically. So have you seen like let's say like the same pattern of like, okay, so this successful guy has this, like you're saying, this values and this routines and this, so that it translates to the way they are about their money, or is it totally separate? Like, it doesn't matter if you have, you know, if you're able to have those values in your life, but then talking about money changes the game. It's totally different. Like, it's something that goes separate.
You know, I do talk to a lot of business owners every day, and the one, I guess, common trait, and it's very vague. I wish I can get more into it, and I wish I can get into their mind and see what's going on, because they're the ones taking all the risk and all that. But one trait that I've learned is they're very driven. They're very driven, and those are the quote unquote successful ones that have that money. And so at the end of the day, when you have that money, it's the conversations that I have with them is, hey, how do I put this to work for me, right? Whether it's an interest-bearing account or a brokerage account of some sort. And so that's I hope, does that kind of answer your question? I hope I'm going the right direction.
Yeah, no, I mean,
here.
and I'm going deep because
Yeah.
I want to think of it that way because, you know, I think that, you know, we have a different relationship with money. I feel like, you know, me as a woman, you know, I still come from this scenario where they would tell me like, okay, so, you know, the guy, you know, provides in a way and you can work, but you know, like you that you don't get a lot of information truly on how to move your money. If money is a game, if money is a tool, if you coming from a Latin American culture, you know, you're also used to saving. So save your money, save your money, save your money, and then like be careful how you spend it, and then this and that, and you come to the U.S. and it's a totally different game. It's like no, you must owe in a way. Like you need to build a credit and you need to play this game to be able to grow and to this and that. So it's really like you're saying a tool and a game and so forth. So I was like, well, it does help to, like you were saying, have that discipline and then that factor of like I want to learn more and being not afraid and kind of like breaking the mold of what people tell you or the information you're given, so that way you get to these lines of growth and guidance like you guys do. So like I feel like, for example, in our lives, like Roberto is driven and he is like he's fearless in a way, like he takes the risks. He's also disciplined in a way, and so all of those aspects I started to think about it. I'm like, okay, so, and he takes care of himself and everything, so I'm like, so if you have those characteristics, I guess it does help to convey those to the money world, because then you apply the same rules like you were saying. Okay, I don't want to save, or I want to invest, or I'm scared of doing this and that. But if you already have that drive to just jump and you know that it's going to be good for you, then you'll do it. I mean, I guess that it's a little different with health and money, but ultimately, like, I feel like it does kind of relate in a way.
Absolutely.
It's a thing that I want to learn more, definitely, and that's why, you know, we are doing these partnerships to be able to know, because you never stop learning on how to play that game. But it also can get really distracting. Like there's so many ways.
Yes.
And so I don't know, I guess like to continue to build those relationships, to learn from people like you and professionals that can guide us, and like you were saying, it's awesome to know that you are supported by all this group, and that's where the corporations come into the game of like having that support and that community and that, you know, setup to help each other out, you know, from corporate to business owners and to business owners to corporate, we team up. And then we do the best we can to live the best life. So, well, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for what you do, you know, and with us. And hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll keep on learning on this as we go.
Absolutely, I had a great time. Thank you.
Thank you.